What's up, world? It's your girl, Cheryl Pearl, back with another video for the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 10, Episode 15. And the name of this episode is The Rocky Road to Sisterhood. Okay. Everything I say is alleged and strictly my opinion. So if you can get with that, let's go. So the episode starts off day two in Colorado, and the ladies are all in different vehicles going to the private jet so they can go to Aspen and um, Kemosabe. So in the car, you have Angel, Tia, and Kiana. And basically, Angel got the information that Monique was trying to kind of compare her marriage to hers in a negative way. And I'm paraphrasing, but basically, Angel was like, these ladies draw their own assumptions, their own conclusions. They don't listen. If they are privileged enough for me to let them in to my marriage with Bobby, because it is wonderful, they should feel privileged. And then it pans to the other car. You have Jassi and Stacy riding together. And basically, Stacy is saying that, whenever you have a kid, you know, she's telling Jassi, you'll find out that's the easy excuse to get out of something, saying, oh, the kid or whatever. And basically, Jassi was like, well, I guess she has to decide if she wants to come and deal with the ladies. And then you pan to the car with Gizelle, Monique, Wendy, and Ashley. And basically, Monique is saying that, she just sees some similarities when she wasn't happy and when she was doing everything. She was combative and she attacked the people that didn't deserve it, which ultimately was her friend group or whatever. So I'm going to just say this. Two things can be true. So, one, I do think when you look at her house, you don't even see any other houses in the damn vicinity. She's on like 36 acres. The other house got to be way down the road or on the next block or something. But I don't know if she's in the middle of nowhere. But maybe it wasn't no accommodations closer. But a little part of me feels like she might not have wanted them close. But what I do believe is she did not intend, based on how they act with this bullying shit, to intend to for them not to have water. I think that is something that just was out of her control. So I do think that in the relationship, she is probably the more calmer one. And Bobby, he played football. He might have a little CT. Nah, allegedly. But nah, I'm just playing. He ain't got no CTE. But, he's the rah-rah person. Sports are competitive. And he might be the person that pop off. Like, even in me and my husband relationship, I'm probably the one that's going to pop off. Like, for people I care about, I go down for. So I think she is handling it very well, because I'm going to just say this. I would have been cuss y'all hoes out. Y'all would have been like, y'all could have took Spirit back to Potomac, Maryland, or whatever. I've been like, look, because you can't just keep just hitting, tapping on my fucking nerves, because I'm going to get your ass together. I'm going to back you up. And when I back you up, I'm going to back you up very aggressively. So you're going to think about it before you come again. And I'm just sorry. That's just my personality. So to me, she's handled it with grace. But if it was couples, if other people had men that they wanted to bring on, her husband probably would have been interjecting on all of that. But anywho, they arrived to the private jet, which is like $8,050 an hour. And Angel begins to, all the ladies get on, and she tries to apologize again for the accommodations, the stuff that she didn't have any control of. And she also says that when the ladies visited her home, for the little welcome brunch or dinner, that she had sent an electrician over there as well as the property manager. And they said everything that was all right. So she apologizes for the accommodations, and Gizelle like, too late, just cutting her off, you know. And she's like, it's too late, boo. And Giselle's point is, you never called or even checked on us, and you're supposed to be the host. You're a horrible host. Just leaning in on her. And again, I do see both ways. If you are hosting a trip and it is her first season, um, you probably want to check on the guests, even if you don't really fool with them, even if they got shady remarks, but just like, let me call. Or even if Kiana would have called and be like, hey, just checking on y'all, and Angel was right there, earshot, getting the deal. Because Kiana didn't call either, because where they was at, they had water and breakfast in the morning, nice ass room with a bathroom. So they weren't worried about it. So she lets them know. Soon as she was made aware of the problem, she was looking to find better accommodations. And Gizelle is still being very argumentative with her, not letting her get a word in edgewise. We know that Angel is super, super sensitive. So they get to talking about the heat was 90 degrees. Stacy's chiming in. It's just like a lot of people coming at her at once. And I'm like, hey, you not gonna get in and help your girl? You know what I'm saying? And then I mean, Stacy, girl. Then you have Wendy, basically like with all her little innuendos about it. And it's just everybody talking at one time. You really don't understand. And Angel, she taking on the chin though. She better than I would be. So Kiana kind of goes on the list like, I had bunk beds, I had to share on the trips, but I believe you just became a main cast member this year. So if you was a friend of Kiana, you just happy to be there, honey. So, they just not cutting her no grace. You know. So basically, she tells Gizelle, everything, we're gonna move on. We're gonna have a great day today. And Gizelle tells her, I'd rather being able to wash my ass than be on a jet. Just to downplay her putting them on a jet. And again, I guess you would just have to be there. I mean, they too old and too long in the tooth to not be washing their ass on the daily, especially you, Ashley, allegedly. Cause girl, I'll get to it. But anyway, Gizelle lets them know that she's got an executive suite at the Four Seasons, that she's already rectified the situation. So, Angel again just takes it on the cheek. Um, they move on. So they exit the jet, and they're in Aspen, and they go to I guess it's like a whiskey bar, and they have food served, and they get to talking. And Monique asks Jassi, did you tell Angel what I said? And she admits it. She said, yes, I told her. And she was like, why? And she was like, because she's concerned. So Monique tells Angel, I noticed some similarities between you and I. Sometimes when you're doing so much, and even if your partner is contributing, sometimes it's still not enough, and you're running around in circles and you're always on defense, just this whole little soliloquy of whatever. So Angel's just looking at her and she was like, "Oh, you think that's me or my experience?" And she's like, "Let me let you know, honey, it's not." And she's basically in her confessional like, Monique doesn't know anything about my marriage. This is a fulfilled woman, you know. So I do feel like you're deflecting. Monique is kind of fresh, 2 years out of your situation. Then his name and came up. You didn't came back to the show after all these years. I think it's just deflection, honey. You know, the guy don't like the way they treating his woman. That's just what it is, baby. He don't like it. And apparently Angel, or we have not seen her go back at them or check them or whatever. Maybe her husband is that person. It's probably a level of frustration because he's not there to defend her. But then if a man defends his wife to some women, you know, not like he gonna whoop their ass, but people will call him aggressive. And then, you know, they want to ice her out and all that other stuff. But I know that he probably just wants to be her mouthpiece, like, you know, whatever. Because on Watch What Happens Live, he basically says she is living the life that y'all want to live. You know, she really a wag. So Wendy chimes in like, well, you know, this goes when, you know, you was talking about you had to ask him to watch the kids so you can go. And she was like, so Gizelle point to that is, if you knew we was coming to Colorado, you should have had uh babysitting accommodations if you were hosting this trip. And she basically says she did, you know, the babysitter is there every day to 9. She's there to today to 9. But after that, you know, she has to check in with her husband, you know, and I don't see nothing wrong with that. Sometimes men are rough and tough with the babies or don't know what, you know, what's what. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's been a routine of her doing everything, putting them to bed. She might not know what book the baby like or whatever. And I mean, it's nothing wrong with that, you know? So, anywho, one of the ladies say, I can't remember, asked Jassi, you know, since she went back and told Angel, when did y'all get so cool? And she was like, I've been talking to her every day since we met. You know, we talk. And she was like, I was supposed to be in the house. And she also lets it be known that Tia, you know, was just like a replacement to her, or you know, a default basically is the term she used. And Tia like, well, wait a minute, it how would I be a default? And she was like, she didn't know if Kiana had advocated for her to choose Tia, but she was like, I was supposed to be in the house. Okay. So anywho, Tia's quite offended by that. But Wendy goes on this rant like, you know what? You basically could say, just keep it a buck. You know, you can come out and say that you don't fool with her, F with her, and this, and just keep it a buck. Now, I will say, because of the catfish and the other little pokes they've been taking at her, I don't think that you guys are her favorite persons. But I will say, far as no water, um, just trying to leave y'all in real bad conditions, I don't think that was deliberate. I think that was just power for the course, you know, maybe the house, I don't know, wasn't the most expensive. I don't really know. But they again start all coming at her again, and she becomes emotional. And she's letting them know, I don't feel that way about you guys, but I think it's natural. When somebody ain't feeling you, you don't naturally gravitate to them. You kind of back. But I don't know. To me, I know that she probably wanted to show her award winning house. I think it might have been better, like a trip might have been better suited in Potomac in their area or not too far, or whatever. So anyway, um she becomes very emotional, and you have Monique and Ashley and Jassi trying to console her. And she's just basically saying, when I tell the truth, it's perceived as a lie. I don't know what to do. And Monique basically says, the best thing she could do is be open and genuine to these ladies. And she also hits with a dig. She was like, but if she ever has a trip, I just won't go, you know? And I felt like that was a dig. So the ladies basically head to Kimosabi. And, Angel, she's putting her brave face back on. But I will say that it is heart wrenching to see somebody so emotional all the time. And it does come across as bullying. Like, Gizelle, you a piece of work, honey. You a cold piece of work, baby. But if I was in Potomac and I was on that show, baby, I can handle you. Because I didn't slayed a many a dragons, baby. So you will be light work for me. But um they just keep taking that knife and spinning it. So I would be really shocked if Angel came back, but if she did, because I believe she bought a house, she closed on a house in Maryland. I just want her to, I mean, first freshman season, knowing you getting the feel. But if you come back in the second season, I want you to light they ass up every time. Okay? You know? Girl, call me. I'll give you my number. I'll give you some reads for each and every one, baby. So anyway, they walk into Kimosabi. Wendy is complaining about that. She got on some what she think is Mary J. Blige boots, but the rainbow um Fashion Nova version, allegedly. I mean, they wasn't looking like nothing. It was just, I guess, with her outfit. And her feet hurting. Everybody got on like tall stilettos and everything. So she makes a joke about these ain't made for cobblestone. So anyway, they arrive at the Kimosabi place, which to me looks like a big ass flea market. So you can get like a custom hat, jewelry. Angel's looking to buy a bracelet and a custom knife. She says Bobby, her husband, collects um custom knives. She also says that it's a celeb hotspot. A lot of celebrities come to Kimosabi. So they get to looking around. Stacy is acting like she can't take the smell of leather, like it's super, super overwhelming. And Monique says basically it smells like death. So, they didn't slay the many of cows to get that going. So the ladies, most of the ladies walking around shopping and buying things. So, what was crazy is that they, okay, so Angel and Kiana step off to the side and they get to talking, and Kiana feels bad that how they come in for her friend. And, she's basically saying that she knows her heart and she really had great intentions for this trip. And Angel's basically said, I'm over it. I tried to work with these ladies, and I'm not speaking verbatim, but I'm paraphrasing. But she's basically saying they determined to think that she lying about everything, that she ain't right and she don't like them. And again, like I said, I don't think they're your favorite people based on the treatment of you. So yeah, I wouldn't I don't know, Angel. I wouldn't put too much. I just hope at this reunion you get them together, girl. Please get them together. Please, honey. And have Bobby sitting behind you chiming in. And I don't know, because Giselle a little shady. She being bought security for Bobby, but you really got to back them up off you. You know what I'm saying? Because if a person is coming at you this hard, it just seems like some type of jealousy or disdain. She Giselle, you probably 15 years older than this girl or more. If you 55, she 38, 39. I mean, damn, you just gonna cut the girl all the way down every chance you get. And we know you the leader of the pack. And this is when I say you need Karen so you can have that balance and that shift of power, because you have Ashley, who is Giselle number two. So it's a lot. So the ladies, they go over the things that they bought. And let's see, I got it written down somewhere. So you got Ashley. Ashley bought a $4,000 belt. Damn, that money must have been good from that man. Kiana, she bought some custom Kimosabi gym shoes for $13.50. Now, why they had to say the pricing, I don't really know. Tia bought a necklace. It's called a bolo. It was $541.05. Giselle bought like some. She got a second hold at her big age, and she bought like some small diamond heart earrings, and they were 1,000. Wendy, and again, I must always say this allegedly. I hope the prosecutor is not watching. Wendy bought her daughter some earrings, and they wasn't a lot, $225. And she basically said, not only are we rich, our kids are rich. Again, I hope the prosecutor is not watching. Jassi, her hat, I guess, is still being made or detailed with whatever custom stuff she got on it, and it's 1,000 plus. So we didn't see it in that setting. Angel bought a bracelet, and she bought a knife for Bobby, for a total of $2,600. So they asked Stacy, what she get, what did she get, because Stacy was looking for keychains, and Stacy didn't get nothing. She was like, she's not rich and she didn't buy anything. And it goes to a flashback back to their that horse race thing they had earlier in the season, where they gave them $20 to bet on the horses, and Stacy put it in her purse, and she basically says she knows how to stay rich. Which was surprising is Monique didn't buy anything either. So she says that she's not only rich, she's wealthy, and she bought her fine ass on the trip, to spend some time. And she was like, she really don't spend money on things. She spent money on trips. And on her page, she does travel a lot out of the country with her kids, so she's giving them that experience. So yeah. Ashley jumped behind the bar and make a drink called the Pink Pussy. And she basically tells them that they take a shot, and she basically tells them that it's does she say organic or low, something nasty. She's just a freak. Ashley, I mean, girl, you coming up on late 30s, 36, 37. I mean, girl, it just seemed like allegedly. Usually when somebody is like that, it like has there ever been any abuse? Because girl, you need to cool that damn thing down. You would take a man, a woman, a just you just don't seem like you're gonna be satisfied with nothing, and you gotta have it, girl. You could have been in the old movie. Gotta have it, girl. Just yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and Tia makes mention to she asks she asked Monique, does she want a sip of hers? And Monique is like, no, I'm strictly dickly. Tia, you done made a lot of references to like Ashley didn't hit you on your butt, this, that, and the other. Girls, you trying to swing that way? Is you curious? Girl. Yeah. Anyway, so they go on the balcony or the deck of Kimosabi. I don't know what it is, but they go outside and it's like another little bar with some tequila. And lo and behold, Mauricio, Kyle Richards' husband from Beverly Hills, is there. And he hugs Gizelle. He acknowledges Gizelle. I guess like looking at her, everybody, that was the person he new name, maybe from meeting BravoCon, whatever, but he knew who Gizelle was. And immediately, like I just was saying, here's Ashley. Oh, he's single now, this and that, just salivating at the mouth. It's like, girl, damn. And the thing about it, he wasn't even giving you that type of energy. It's like 8 of y'all. It's like, or 7, shit, I don't know how many, but it's just like, girl, the first one he spoke to was Gizelle. And Gizelle was like, he's definitely somebody I would be horizontal with. But it's all this respect for Kyle, and Kyle is in the Housewives franchise. But you saying that on camera, and she lets it be known that, she's still married and whatever, whatever. So Stacy is trying to push Ashley to, get up on him. Get up on him. And in her confessional, she basically says if she's got a man, then it's less time of messing with her. So Angel asks Mauricio, have he heard of fly fishing? And he was like, sure. You got to get your hands dirty and this, that, and the other. And then they asked him his plans, like, what is he doing tonight? And he was like, I'll definitely be out tonight. I'm solo. And Gizelle goes, he is off limits to all of us. Next thing you know, I guess it's like some little, maybe they're on a deck at Kimosabi, but it's some little steps that go down. And Monique says, where's Ashley and Stacy? They all tucked in a corner in the steps, asking him a whole bunch of questions. And Gizelle peeks around the corner like, they messy, Mauricio's off limits. And Ashley, like, why you say we messy? Why you say I'm messy? And I'm just like, girl, you are. Like, it's no age limit, it's no race, it's no gender. You just want it all, girl, as much as you could swallow, allegedly. And it's just, even with him talking to you, it didn't seem like he was really interested. And I'm sorry, maybe if it was longer, you probably could have persuaded him or something. I don't really know, but it just didn't seem like he was just that into you. Okay, Ashley boo, you cute, but everybody don't want you. You're not everybody's type, dude. I know you figure you know. It's just a lot. It's just a lot with you, Ashley, honey. So they wind up coming back on the balcony and or whatever this little layout at Kemosabe. It's like a outside deck or whatever. And she's letting Stacy know, like, yeah, I could roll with you, getting, trying to get me hooked up and everything. And Stacy tells her, no, I will run down there and get his number. It's not Kyle was gonna see all of this. My hope is that Kyle and Mauricio get back together. So they wind up having some caviar and they do a caviar shot. Basically, they put the caviar on their thumb and like if you was doing tequila with the salt and everything, you lick it off. Of course, Gizelle reminds, is they hand clean? Because we ain't had no water. Girl, you being a dead horse. Girl, if you don't, shit, it's probably water at the restaurant. Go wash up in the bathroom there. So afterwards, she lets Angel know that she had to take over the trip and that she got them at the Four Seasons and she wants to know if Angel's coming, they having dinner, and tomorrow they having brunch, and then they going home. And Angel was like, no, we have another activity. And also lets her know they need to be out early to do the next activity. And Gizelle is basically like, let the ladies decide. We know that Gizelle is the head cheerleader and most people gonna go her way. And I just thought, again, another ending with a nasty Gizelle. But Angel, I mean, if Tia want to stay, if Kiana want to stay, I don't know if Monique, because Monique wasn't always a Gizelle fan. She was hazed by Gizelle, but like Wendy, Gizelle, and Ashley could go. If everybody else want to stay, make the best of the trip, and it's just gonna have to be that. Now, whether Gizelle got power to get you fired or whatever, iced out, I don't know. But girl, at this point, save your mental health. So it basically ended with that. And yeah, I guess we'll see if they gonna go fly fishing at Angel's little resort or Wonderland, or if they gonna get on the plane and go home. And that's also to be mean, but that's all I got. I ain't got no more. I don't like that mean girl shit, I really don't. I wish Kayana would be step in, or Angel just get back with them. So that's my hope. That's my hope. I'm looking for a fiery reunion. But again, Angel, if this video makes its way to you, honey, I got some nice reads for all of them, and I've been watching since day one. So I get them hoes up off you. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, tell Angel and tell Gizelle or whoever from that clique. And yeah, I ain't scared. But yeah. See you in the next video. Bye.